I don't think people fully understand like how much it has taken to get to this point where I've completed these. A year of my life I basically dedicated to kind of doing these paintings on off, in the background, now kind of literally trying to crack it out for the last kind of 4 months. And yeah, finally we're done. Kobe Bryant has just been framed, and I'm actually going to be taking it back to my flat. So I'm going to take you guys inside my flat because they were only ever meant to go on my wall in the first place. Welcome to the crib. Yes. That actually looks sick. Let's go! Finished, finally. I feel like it's actually a little bit emotional. A year of my life spent doing these commissions, and I've literally just put the finishing touches, or well, the last stroke to the final piece. I don't think people fully understand like how much it has taken to get to this point where I've completed these. I completely underestimated like how much work working on basically double the size would actually be, and also working in colour. So like a year of my life I basically dedicated to kind of doing these paintings on off, in the background, now kind of literally trying to crack it out for the last kind of 4 months. And yeah, finally we're done. So now that is literally all done, that means that I can basically move on to my next pieces, which for me is going to be the other two, well, another piece that goes along with Michael Jordan, which is the Kobe Bryant piece. I need to pick that up from the framers, and I'm going to be taking that straight back to my flat because Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan and LeBron James were only actually ever meant to just go up on my flat walls, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go and do that. Obviously, we'll be getting a coffee on the way. So come with me and let's get out of here.
So you got your painting back, so everything all good with it?
Yes, it looks good. I mean, they always do a good job there, so it looks decent. I'm gonna get it back to the flat, like I said, and put it up on my wall because that was the original plan with these pieces, but it's only because they started selling that I then started getting rid of them. But this piece is gonna go back at my flat. Well, speaking of which, actually, I am gonna have to go back to basics today because I don't have my car with me. So, that's why I got the coffee. We're gonna have to walk all the way there, across town to get this back, which is what I used to do when I was just starting out because, well, as a kind of solopreneur, you have to kind of do it all. So it's gonna be a bit of a journey, but on that journey, I'm gonna also talk about a couple of things that starting out as an artist I wish I would have known as well. So I guess we better get going. So we take a quick little pit stop. I've just been doing a bit of thinking and kind of looking back, especially with like just having finished the Jadon commission now, about what I wish I would have known starting out. And I think that like what's been really helpful, like posting lots of content and painting lots and lots of pieces and doing my 10,000 hours, is although I've kind of got much more technically proficient, and for some people that is kind of where they want to take their artwork, I definitely want to become like a much more commercial artist. So what I would say to you as an artist if you were looking to start and kind of really sell pieces at scale, is maybe think about ways in which you can either produce pieces quickly or bring in assistance or bring in some help, because that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. So now that I've kind of finished that kind of whole black and white series and a couple of colour paintings, I'm going to be very much focusing on like much more modern, simplistic designs, but aesthetically will look, I believe, a lot more striking in a home. But more to the point, I'll be able to produce at scale because I'll be able to produce a lot more pieces per week. So from this point on, you're going to see me like giving loads of pieces out to like different influencers and collaborating with other people and all that kind of stuff. And I think that that will help get my artwork out there like so much quicker, because I'm not constrained by how long it takes to kind of paint the more technical pieces. But that would just be my little tip. But we need to get back. We're about halfway. It's still about another 10-15 minutes to go to get back to the flat. So let's go. I tell you what, I do not flipping miss this walking stuff at all. That said, we do have a little golden hour, so I'll take that. But I tell you what, doing this walk is definitely taking me all the way back to when I kind of started the art, and like some of the struggles that have been along the way. And I just remember having to do this walk, like literally I'd be working my day job during the day, then I'd come back, do some painting at the studio, and then have to literally walk these paintings back to my place to then ship them out. And it just makes you think like how far we've come, because there was loads of times across the journey where like I'd have no money, because like everything that I was earning from my job, I would then put it into the art, if that makes sense. So like I think it can be made to look quite easy sometimes from like social media and that kind of thing, when actually there's like a lot of struggles kind of behind the scenes. And I think as well, like I don't know if any of you out there can relate to this as well, but for me, I massively had a hurdle with trying to mentally get past the point of like people in my day job, my TV producing job, thinking that I wasn't serious anymore because I was doing this thing on the side and getting more and more following and putting myself out there. It actually ended up going the other way, so I was kind of worrying for a long time about nothing, in that by kind of reminding people that I was there was actually getting me more offers kind of in TV. But for me, mentally, to get to a place where I was comfortable still doing the art and being able to do the TV was like a real like battle for me. And I think as well, doing the hours was painful in the beginning, because I'd like to think of myself as like quite active as well. So it'd be like gym, go to do your day job in TV, and then come back and paint. And it'd be like kind of 12-1, and then you've got to do the whole thing again. And that was literally the same thing for years. And also when you're kind of giving away paintings for free, you're not really seeing that like financial benefit come back as well. Like you're seeing it kind of grow a little bit, but you're not really seeing anything kind of tangible. And so like to stay strong in that moment as well was fairly difficult. So yeah, this has been a bit of a trip down memory lane, but we're nearly there anyway. So let's get back, and I'll show you around the place too. Right, okay, we finally made it back to the humble abode, and I'm going to be taking you up to my place, and I'll do a little flat tour and all that kind of crib styly stuff. But more importantly, I want to show you kind of what years of prototyping in my head has kind of looked like on a wall, and kind of why this painting is kind of the direction I want to go going forward. So you'll only really understand when you see it up on the wall, because you'll see the kind of style that I'm going for. So let's go and do that. Let's get inside. Okay, welcome to my humble abode. This, although it being my flat, is where it all started in the art journey as well. And it's kind of crazy to think, because I'll show you in a second where I used to paint, because the space that I used to paint in was like literally half the size, like you're touching walls. But I feel like when you're going on this whole like art journey or such, you have to just kind of make things work. And like I feel like I see it a lot where artists will kind of give up because there's obstacles in the way, and you kind of just have to make your surroundings work and then figure it out as you go along and expand. So obviously I'm now in my studio, but why don't I show you where I used to paint all these kind of massive paintings I used to do at the end of my bedroom. Come and see the boudoir. So this is the space where I kind of started the whole art thing from, basically. As you can see, it's not a very big space, but I remember quite clearly that I had to like put like a blue sheet down on the floor, and I was always kind of like trying to knock stuff over whilst I was painting, and the canvases would literally take up like the whole space. But I feel like it's one of those things where if you're gonna make something successful, you're gonna have problems, and it's not gonna be ideal in the beginning, but you kind of just have to make it work. And I feel like that's what I managed to do, or make the best of the situation that I was kind of put in. But I feel like I made it work for me, and it's kind of snowballed into a much bigger thing. And even just being kind of in the space again, it's kind of weird to think like where things have gone now. But yeah, if you stick it out, like good things can happen. But this isn't what we come here for, so let's get back next door. Let's get this up on the wall. There we go. Yes! That actually looks sick. Like, I'm glad that like together they look exactly kind of really how I wanted to look. This is good, this is good. I am so pleased with like how that looks. I feel like I had this vision in my head of what I wanted this new direction to look like. And these are the first two pieces that I've seen together, framed up on the wall. And I'm really, really pleased. I think that's gonna do really well. And so it's kind of like about a year's worth of prototyping, and I know I've spoken about it quite a lot, but to see it actually like that is actually a really good feeling. And it kind of almost cements the direction that I want to go. So today is a good day. More importantly though, if you do like the look of these, then you can always help a brother out by definitely subscribing and giving the channel a follow, or even comment. I always reply back to my comments as well. So do let me know what you think, and that would be amazing. Until next time.